starting to snow, or right as it's starting to rain here. Bring up the live on the phone. What is going on, folks? It is Thursday, where I'm from. Tonight we're going to be cruising in some Nissans. Right now we're in the Sylvia. Pretty much stock. Just gonna get into it. See what we can get into, man. Alright, so this is the second themed cruise night. Ooh. A little rainy out. Last theme we did was Honda Cruise. So I figured we'd jump into some Nissans. Go around. Try not to embarrass myself right off of the rip. Trying to drift. Today we're playing Forza Horizon 5. We are rocking the Thrustmaster, and if there's one thing that I've learned about this thing is that it is very unforgiving when it comes to drift. So if you're planning on getting this thing to drift, I would probably not. It's not a bad race wheel. It's not a bad cruise wheel. I think right now it's my lead foot that's giving me the issues. We're just gonna cruise around for a bit, not really heading anywhere in particular. We probably switch it up in a little bit. Now, usually I like to work my way up in power. This is a B class, which is ridiculous that I'm having trouble keeping on the road, but that's what happens with rear wheel drive in the rain. Hopefully it dries up soon. Now I noticed just some cars don't really work terribly well with this wheel either. They're just really like back and forth. So I do have plans over the Christmas break. You know, if we can acquire some funds and I can justify putting it towards a decent wheel. Basically looking at the Logitech G920 with the just do a head gasket there. With the matching shifter. Like I say, this wheel great for just cruising around, driving, and having fun. But when it comes to getting sideways, the force feedback really makes it difficult to feel what the car's doing. Because, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I took this thing apart basically in the last bungee cord, actually. I don't know if you've ever seen the ones with the felt on them, but that's basically what it is. Alright, I don't even know where we're going here. Guess we'll hang a left. What? Alright. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm already not liking this car. It sounds great, but I'm pretty sure I have a better Sylvia at the house. So probably just rip this one for a little bit, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm already really not feeling it. It just wants to get sideways. Really what it comes down to. Alright, I guess what we will do is head to one of the houses. One here just down the road. Casabella. Get that waypoint.
In 400 meters,
See if we can jump into something.
turn right. In 200 meters, turn left. Turn left. In 200 meters, turn right. Turn right.
Alright, so let's see what we have in the way of Nissans here. Now, I do have a couple new, just got the new Nissan Z, the 400Z. I didn't even know I could get that in this game, but apparently it's here. But I think that's a little bit higher up as far as the car classes go. So we're gonna check out. I don't know. I just want to kind of progressively work my way up to the fast stuff. Actually, it's an A class. I think what we're rocking is a B. We're not going to consider the Titan tonight because, well, it's Titan. I think the next one up is going to be the 2010 370Z, the non-Nismo 703 A class. I am looking at that R34 718. But you guys know me. If you aren't subscribed to my other YouTube channel, youtube.com/Denali, I am a VQ fanboy. I'm not going to lie. So yeah, let's jump in this 370. See what happens, man. So I'm pretty sure this thing, minus, you know, intake, exhaust, some minor suspension work. Definitely handles way nicer than the Silvia. Like I say, some cars with this game, or with this wheel in particular, it's just so touchy. One little inch and you're all over the road. But this 370, this thing's gonna be decent. I think what we're gonna need to do. Looks like we're stuck in this little town here. I'm not gonna lie, this thing is driving pretty nice. However, that R34, man, is just talking to me, bro. Just talking to me, man. Oh, barn finds. We need to filter out. Filter them houses so I can find them. Gotta get to the crib, man. Alright, I still want to drive this thing a little bit. So we're gonna take a little trip. And when we get there, we're gonna jump in the R34. Compare it to the 370Z. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I've had 2 Altimas. I think 3 G35s at this point. I am a mid-2000s, you know, anything from 05 to 2015. Nissan-wise is kind of up my alley. Once they came out with the CVTs and the, you know, the Maximas and the Altimas and stuff like that, I don't know, they just kind of weren't really my bag anymore. But, I don't know, I would take a 370Z like this, for instance, over, I don't know, like a 180 SX or some, you know, S13 or man, they always get me with these waypoints.
Turn sharp left.
They always get me with it. Is that what we actually have to do?
Recalculating.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I might take a R34, or for sure I'd take a R34 over like a 370. As far as like a S15, I'd probably take, you know, a clean S15. But I don't know, like 180 is not really my bag. Like the older, like S13 still is, man. This speed zone gets me every time. Makes me miss my exit, man. Just not with it. Not gonna lie. But yeah, at this point, like I say, after those, after the CVTs started coming in, I don't know, I kind of, the reliability of Nissan and Infiniti kind of went down the drain, so, I don't know, man, I'm a Toyota boy now. There was a time not too long ago when I was looking for a really clean ISF, 5-liter V8, but man, they're old cars now. People still want like 30, 40 grand, like 200,000 kilometers on it. It's too much, man. So I've came to grips with myself when the engine in my Infiniti, my 04 G35 sedan, takes a crap, when the motor takes a crap, I'll just LS swap that, man.
The next Horizon Arcade event will begin any minute
And I'll
now.
basically have, man, tell me this is still taking me to my house right now, because I'm not really trying to go to this convoy, and they keep getting me in these speed traps, throwing me out my game. And then basically I'll have, you know, the equivalent of an ISF. I'll have a 4-door sedan with a manual, which you can't get an ISF in a manual, so that's one up there. And then I Just keep it modest, man. I just need it to be reliable, bro.
In 400 meters, turn right. Turn right. You have arrived at your destination.
What? They got the Christmas decorations on the crib, bro. That's sick, man. Happy holidays out there. How's everything looking? Everything coming in crispy? Hopefully. Alright. Well, what are we doing? Fast travel to festival? I don't want to do that, man. Alright, so I think it's just time to get into that R34, man. So 718 for the R34 A-Class, and then it's looking like the 03Z. I mean, we just drove. We got a lot of Z's, actually. We got the 03 Fairlady. We got another 370 Nismo, and then we got the Nismo Z, the 2024. I don't know, man. Well, we're gonna have to let's jump to the garage. We're gonna have to figure it out next time we're in the garage, because I don't even know. I don't even know what car I want to drive, man. Alright, clear. This guy got that Bugatti out. Well, he's trying to mob me. I'm just trying to cruise. And to be honest with you, one thing a lot of people don't realize, that blow-off valve sounded great. One thing a lot of people don't realize about stock R34s, they're really not that fast, man. Like, I didn't really do a ton to this. Just upgraded turbos. Guy's drifting in the Bugatti. Yeah, just upgraded turbos. Little bit of, I think, exhaust intake maybe. Lower the suspension, nice set of wheels on it. Gosh. Yeah. Woo-wee. This thing pulls up top though. Oh! Alright, this guy's got me driving crazy. You know what though? I was wondering why I couldn't see this guy on the map, because I didn't realize when you filter them out on this map that it filters them out on the mini map too. So we are gonna add all online players to this filter. There we go. Whoa! Wrecked it.
Arrived at your destination.
This thing sounds so good, man. Sounds great. That turbo flutter's insane. What is Horizon Backstage? nailed it. You guys see, man? I feel like I got to always adjust this brightness when it's daytime. You guys can barely see nothing when I'm going in the sun. Better? Alright, let me think here. This is the festival. What do we want to drive into next? The hub, man. I gotta add these to my filter as well. Well, all right. Oh, just on the wrong side. Alright, so what are we rolling in next? I don't feel like running the 350 right now, even though it is one of my favorite cars. I know what it's all about. It's not that exciting. So what comes after the Z? We got that GTR LM. That thing's pretty fire. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, my F-yeah spec GTR spec V. I don't know, man. The yellow Sylvia. You know what? I think there is a lot of choices here. A lot of choices. Let's jump up inside that GTR LM just because it's such an expensive and prestigious vehicle. And if I'm not mistaken, this thing sounds pretty dang fire as well. Okay. See what this thing's all about. So I think this thing was rear-wheel drive. If I'm not mistaken. Sounds exactly like the last GTR that we drove. Oh my goodness. Yeah, definitely rear-wheel drive. Alright, I think I'm gonna have to be nice to this. This one is not as forgiving. It sounds the same, but that turbo, it spools and it comes on hard now. And when it does, those rear wheels want to spin. Understeer there. Whoa, you see that? First gear there. Turbo hits. Boom. Spins the tire. Shift into second early. Bogs out. Okay. Right. Oh my god, we got pieces of fence on my GTR LM. Not a good look, bro. Not a good look. We're out here. Oh yeah, it's a nice expensive car. Let's take it for a little bit of a rip. Just absolutely destroy it within the first 5 minutes. Alright. Good thing it's not real life, man. Whoa. What the heck? Man, I don't remember this thing hitting this hard last time I drove. When you step on that gas, you better hope that this thing is pointing straight. Hot dog. What up, Air Respects? Air Respects? Respects? Is that what that says? What up? What's going on, man? Or girl? I don't know. This thing is a dang handful, man. Whoa. What world is happening? We need to switch this car. Holy cow. All right, all right. Whoops. Just went in and exited right out. So, no, that's not what I want to do. I'm at the festival site. I don't know if you guys can tell. Okay. So I don't know, man. Do we jump? We just gotta jump right into the Z, the 2024 Z, and then let me see. I think I've got the Infinity Q60 in here as well. That's got quite a bit more power than the 400Z. I guess, sorry, just the Nissan Z Nismo. Let's jump up in this Nismo, see what it's all about. To be honest with you, I just got it today. Just realized it was in the game. Got one of these Horizon car passes or whatever. Buy one of these cars, so let's see what it's all about, man. Kind of wish there was a little bit more turbo sound from it, but amazing. Honestly, this car is great, man. I think the big problem with these cars in real life is they're priced $20,000 too much, man. This thing's fantastic. Now, I don't know what year that Q60, it's a concept, maybe 2016-ish, but it's essentially the same engine and gearbox as what's in this, no? So maybe we'll jump in that back to back and we'll see. See how this thing's, see how it compares. Because that's another downside to this thing, is that this car, technology in it is arguably like 20 years old. I mean, I'm pretty sure the transmission is the same one that, well, maybe not in the in this Z, maybe it's a little different. But I'm pretty sure it's pretty identical to the one in like the Q50, maybe even the G37s, the generation before the Q50, so it's like, but I'm not gonna lie, this particular car, actually pretty snappy. And it's got some great traction. Really like those shift lights. Ah, ooh, that was a close one. My bad, my bad. On the blind corner there, a little hot. Like you said. Okay, okay. We smashed a few things there. Okay, so this thing drives great. Since we're at a festival right now, however, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump in that Infinity Q60, because like I say, pretty much the same motor, if I'm not mistaken, 3-liter, twin turbo, rear wheel drive. This one, however, quite a bit more power. So we got, yeah, it's pretty much the same car, man. So we're gonna jump inside this and we'll see how they compare. Like, do you go out and buy the, 2024 Nismo Z, or do you go out and buy the, the 2015, 2016 Q50 or Q60 and just throw a Nismo with it? We are going to find out. Okay, so already this car has too much power and not enough tire. So we're gonna have to really go easy on it. I do hear the turbo quite a bit more on this one. Is there a glitch up there in the corner, or was it just my eyes? Run it back in the live stream after and see. So I can definitely say one thing's for sure. The suspension and handling way better in the Z than it is in this. Wow. Yeah, like I say, this thing, I think the big problem is there's not enough tire. What was that bogging? Did you hear that? What was that? Woo. And man, this thing just wants to start a sideshow. Alright, so turbo flutter. Very cool, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm not enjoying this experience one bit. Way too much power. Luckily, we are not far from a garage.
When it is safe to do so.
You're in my lane, man. Pardon me. This reminds me of that LMGTR where it's just, you better not let those turbos spool up. You're not pointing forward, I'll tell you that much. Honestly, like, considering this wheel is trash at sliding, and this car's sliding better than most that I have in my, I'll say that much.
You have arrived at your destination.
So, lesson learned. That car needs more tire. We will make a mental note for the future. But now, I don't know, man. We're getting into the higher horsepower numbers here. Like that 370 Nismo is basically the same thing as that 2010 Nismo 370 that we drove earlier there. Do we go out in like the R35 GTR? Because that's a pretty big leap, I'm not gonna lie. We do have this fair lady that would break us into the S1 class with an 807. Then we'll jump in the GTS R, because that thing is a riot, man. And then we'll jump in the R35. Grab myself a beverage real quick. We're gonna jump into this one. Okay, then. Where is the driveway and the road to this place? We're just gonna drive through these trees. Nothing unrealistic about that, right? Dang, man. Got the straight cut gears in this thing or what? Wow. First crash of the night. Wow. First crash into another vehicle. Would you get out the way? Not cool. Wouldn't say that. Oh, bud. Almost put it in somebody's front yard. Okay, so takeaways from this. I don't know what's going on with it. But it feels like it's this one mod away from being a fantastic car. Can't quite put my finger on it. Power delivery is great. Turbo doesn't come on hard at all. But the steering is a little touchy. Like if you're very careful with the steering, I mean light inputs. You can see that I'm just touching it. skipping into the next lane. Alright, starting to get dark. Right up again. Well, okie dokie then. Thank you folks for bearing with me there on that one. Much appreciated. Alright, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm not overly enjoying this car as much as I thought I would. Where are we in relation to properties? Guess we'll jump. Didn't we just come from I think we just came from Casa Bella. You know what? Here's the plan. We're gonna stay on the outskirts of the map. We're gonna head to this Wilds outpost. Then we're gonna hook back up on the opposite side of the map here, and we're gonna get back into the city because I feel like we've been kind of cruising this, southern portion of the map for quite some time.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Fresh scenery. Whoa. I did not mean to do that. I'm playing chicken on the highway out here. Oh man, we're just gonna run the barrier. I don't know what to tell you guys. I like to keep it realistic out here, but like how realistic is chicken on the opposite side of the highway like that? I just don't know.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Just running her through a river. Come on, folks. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of getting the hang of that car. It wasn't nearly as bad as I originally made it out to be. Alright, what's next? So this broke us into the S1 class as far as our Nissans go. Aside from the Infinity that we drove, which was just a comparison to the Nismo Z there. So that was an 807. I know that 370 Nismo is a twin turbo, but it's rear wheel drive. I feel like, I don't know, do we just go to the R35? 844, and then we jump to this old school. What year is this? 87. Let's do that. We'll go to R35, 2017, then we'll jump to the 87. And we'll see what the difference is. Now, the thing about that 87 is it's got a lot of power, and I already kind of worked out the bugs on that thing, but I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure. I got it. We are gonna see it. That's coming. Now, jump in that little Nismo themed R35. You know, nothing major. Just Godzilla and all of that. Y'all are tuning in, whether live or after the live, I just want to say thank y'all. Thank y'all for rocking. It is your boy, and we out here. what was those old school YouTube videos called? Tax the Rich? Where Buddy just whipped his old school, not even old school, I guess at the time they were like new. This is expensive cars through the bush. Tax the Rich. Alright, let's see what this thing's all about. Where did we say we wanted to go? Where did I say I wanted to go? I want to rip the outer edge of the map. So if we can get over to this spot right here, we'll just keep heading straight. I don't think I'm gonna want to change cars when we get there, but we'll see. It's not a very far distance. This thing, it feels like the front wheels are not even touching the ground. Back onto the dirt roads. We got that all-wheel drive. Crazy. That was crazy.
You have arrived at your destination.
Yes, I have. Alright, we're just gonna rip the outside edge of the map. We'll stay on this main kind of highway. Pretty sure when we're gonna pass a horizon site or a house, another one of our houses eventually here. Not quite ready to switch it up yet. Just got in this thing. Second accident. City? Okay, Nissan Cobra. That could also be a Lexus. Okay, so R35. Thing about this car is, I don't know, man. Sometimes you just want the drama. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's just too easy to drive. What can I say? Um, actually, that's a lie. It was still kind of a handful. But in comparison, what I was thinking we would jump into next is this 87 GTSR. Now, I don't even know where I got this thing from. Could have been wheel spin. Might have been a barn find, I'm not sure. However, this thing has turned out to be one of my favorite cars. With the tri-spokes on there. This, I don't know, I just found this Nismo livery off of the, the vinyls that you can pick from, the presets or whatever that people have created. And man, this thing honestly has grown to be one of my favorites in the garage. I don't know what it is. I just love this old school car. Now, like I say, if I can remember correctly, it's definitely a handful. So we're gonna have to be gentle with it first, so that we don't make a fool of ourselves. Even though we've pretty well done that already tonight. Alright, we're gonna jump, we're gonna make a left here. Jump on this main road. What? Thought I worked the bugs out of this thing already, man. Apparently not. Okay, so I thought this thing was all-wheel drive. It is not. So we are going to adjust our driving accordingly. So this thing's small turbo. Sounds like there's a little bird underneath the engine. Not really strong on the turns. But once it gets up, Now I was reluctant to all-wheel drive swap this thing, man. Because it is a GTST. Whoa. Ah! Now we're just acting a fool in this thing, wrecking my classic, the old classic joint. Oh my goodness. Okay, so evidently we have not tamed the beast as of yet. I think what we really need to do is just focus on not hot dogging it. You know what I mean? Just cruise. We're out for a cruise, man. I just gotta keep telling myself that. And we're in the fence. Turn that drift camera off, man. I'm really not entirely into that. Brother, that was boost right there. Are we stuck here? We may very well be stuck here, folks. I need to get a good idea of what's happening right now. Yeah, we are stuck. The roof turbo kicking. Like, man. Man. It's a whole lot of power right there, man. Where are we at in the map? You know what? Let's cruise to the Hotel Castillo. What we're gonna do is jump into something. I don't know. We need something with better traction. This thing is just messing up my cheese. That guy, he had a whole bunch of damage on his car. Can I turn the damage on my car? I don't think I'd like that very much, man.
Turn sharp left.
Probably a learning experience for me. Seeing all the scuffs and scratches.
Turn sharp left.
Brother, what the hell? What the hell? What the hell are you on there? You know what? This thing would benefit tremendously from an all-wheel drive swap. Like, I cannot think of another car in my fleet that would benefit more. Whoa, thank God you got this place dressed up like Christmas decorations too, man. You know what? 'Tis the season to be squally. What can I say? Alright, so I don't know how to follow that up. For one, that car looks fantastic. But I really don't know how many more faster cars we have than that. It was an 855. I think we got lots of fast cars. I mean, fast Nissans, because it is a Nissan Cruise Day, as you can tell from the title below somewhere. I don't really know. Let's see. 855. Don't tell me that's the fastest Nissan that I have here. What? You know what, ladies and gentlemen? We just drove the fastest Nissan that I own, which is absolutely insane because that car was not really that fast. Crazy. So where do we go from here now, folks? This 94 Sylvia is pretty fire. You know what? Let's go with my Tommy F. Yeah spec GTR, which, to be honest with you, is basically just a stock GTR with a few bolt-ons, but same color scheme. Pretty sure he had a gray one like this back in the day that got wrecked. Was that me? Me, dog? Yes, it was. Okie dokie, man. Well, that's a little bit aggressive, but I'm not gonna say I'm not with it. Alright. So, let's mob this thing into the city, I think. It is daytime, so let me run that brightness back up for you. Or down, I should say. How's that looking for you? Well, alright then. So I did forget where I was going now. I wanted to hit a left there at the next major junction. So to be honest with you, my favorite cars in this game to drive are cars like this that are just low horsepower, sound great. That was the left I was talking about right there. Power's still there when you get on it, but when you do, it's controllable. Brother, what the heck was that, man? Really starting to come down out there, isn't it? I'd say. Holy moly. Surprisingly, this car still handles quite well, right? So I've only been driving it for 10 seconds. skid mark, but slick maneuver. Real slick maneuver, buddy. Go right ahead, sir. Keep looking at the map. I think we can hit one of the cribs. Keep going straight here. nice at that Christmas tree, man. We do a big out here, don't we? Chee. Alright, so that was a pretty modest GTR. I really enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie, man. When you get into those higher horsepower vehicles, they just don't feel the same, man. All over the place. Too difficult to handle. I did want to rip this 94 Sylvia. I feel like I ripped this one in one of the live streams that is no longer on the internet. And I really enjoyed it, if I'm not mistaken. This thing was really fun to drive. What up, player? Let's get an outside view of this. 270R. This thing looks pretty good. Don't play with those phones when you're driving, kids. They are a distraction. Gonna pull over for a quick little refreshment. Out for a nice little cruise, man. Hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. I know I am. If you guys have not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. If you guys have not smashed that like button, please consider doing so. It really helps the channel. So for those of you guys who are just tuning in, we are in that Nissan Nismo 270R S13, I think, if I'm not mistaken. What we're gonna do is set a waypoint. We've been in all kinds of Nissans tonight, man. Like a whole gang of excuse me. A whole gang of them. Pardon me. And we're just having fun, man. Just enjoying ourselves. What I'm thinking we're gonna do. How long we've been on this live right now? Going on 2 hours. I'm gonna keep it going. Still early. We're gonna head to the Hotel Castillo. See what else we got in the garage, man. There was a couple cars in there, like the Nismo 370, the 350Z, the Fair Lady Z rather. I did say I wasn't gonna drive those, only because we started the stream with like a a pretty basic stock 370 VQ, and I was like, we can't go to these cars right now. We just drove a VQ. Guess what? It's been a hot minute since we drove a VQ, man. So I think we're gonna jump into we'll jump into the Z first. Nismo Z, and then we'll jump into the Nismo 370. That way we can compare NA 3.5 liter versus the twin turbo 3.7 liter. I'm gonna just let all you guys know out there, put you up on game. If you guys want VQ power, you can do some damage with a DE, man. And the great thing about it is you find yourself, look out, man, what are we doing out here? Find yourself a 6-speed, manual DE, first generation VQ. Don't waste your time with any BS, man. And don't forget about the plenum spacers, the intake, all that. I was gonna say that, all that crap. I mean, for me, intake's always my first mod. Doesn't matter what car it is. Intake, exhaust, usually my first mod. But if you're trying to make some jam, test pipes in it too. Test pipes, tune. I would go test pipes, intake, exhaust, maybe whatever muffler you want. After you put the test pipes on, then mess around with the muffler, get the sound you want, go and get it. You'll be murking 370s and G37s. The 350 HRs, G35 HRs, no problem. I know, man. I got videos of it in my real G35 sedan before I had the tune, man. At that point, I was, I did a lot of just smaller mods. Throttle body spacer. I did have the bigger throttle body. itself. I had the plenum spacer. I had like this engine mount like brace that connects the engine to the chassis, keeps the engine from rocking. Obviously, I had the intake, exhaust, all that good stuff. I don't know, man. You don't gotta waste your time with those smaller mods, man. Like I say, test pipes in a tune, but mind you, you want to make a little more jam. Obviously, if a if a 350 or a 370 or a G37 does that, they're hard to keep up with when they're tuned up. We're keeping up stock, obviously.
You have arrived at your destination.
In the said DE. All right, man. Let's jump in. I'm gonna show you guys right now, man. We're gonna jump into the 350Z. You're gonna see. It's really. Oh man, I gotta hook up my Velcros. Hoodie strap got stuck in there. A stock VQ is really. Listen, this is coming from a Nissan guy. I love me a Nissan, but a stock VQ, my guy, is just really. It's not producing that much jam, let's be honest with you. Or I'm gonna be honest with you, let's be honest with ourselves. Alright, so for those of you guys who are rocking with me still, I do appreciate it. We are going to see what this thing's all about, and I already know what it's all about. I put some kilometers, well, some miles, I guess. Is that speedo? No, I think that speedo is in. Get the sun on. Yeah, it is in kilometers. So, as you can see, 1,800 kilometers I've put on this thing so far. So, it's one of my more favorable cars in this game. wheel hop, man. I can hear it taking that corner. And it's funny that they got the wheel hop because I know about the wheel hop, man. My G35 has the worst wheel hop when I'm launching, bro. At the drag strip, forget about it.
You've arrived at your destination.
Sloppy. Pretty sure that's the start of that big ass mountain, and I am not trying to go up there right now, especially with this car. Alright, man, I think what we'll do, jump into the street scene outpost here, See what that 370 is all about. Let me know down in the comments if you guys would rather have realistic driving or kind of just mobbing as fast as I can, flying off the road and stuff like that. For me, I enjoy when I'm watching streams, aside from like the drifting streams and stuff like that, tandems and everything. Man, I just enjoy the guys that are cruising, following the rules, man. I had a buddy back in the day when I was, yes sir, what up, man? Back in the day, I had a buddy who had a wheel, man. It was back in the day on PC. He had driver, and man, we used to just cruise around on driver, following the rules. I don't know if you guys remember playing driver. Some of you youngsters may not remember that game, but you know, the cops would chase you if you're breaking the law. And so, you know, when we would cruise around, it was just try not to cause an accident, try to, you know, get to the destination. We'd always go on the map, pick a destination. I don't think that they had maps and stuff like that back in the day on driver where you could set a waypoint. But we would just pick a spot on the map where we wanted to cruise to, and if we got in an accident or got booked by the police before we got there, then we'd switch up, taking turns, you know what I'm saying? And that was kind of how we took our turns. Now, that was Mofo. Obviously, he was, you know, he owned the game. So he was pretty good. I barely got too many turns, you know what I'm saying? Long story short, that's the kind of stuff that I enjoy seeing. Let me know down in the comments. What? Peak VQ, bro. Peak VQ.
Turn left. You have arrived at your destination.
Yes, I have. All right. Let's see what we got in the garage next. I believe we said we were jumping in that 370. Let's see what's up, man. We have driven a lot of cars tonight, bro. A lot of cars. Alright then, I'm gonna just run to the little boys' room real quick. Back with y'all. a dang, man. Well, it's definitely winter outside. I don't know where y'all are tuning in from. Let me know down in the comments section, man. But we are out here in beautiful Canada. Crazy Canada, to be honest with you. And it is getting cold. I think we're getting down to minus 20 tonight out here, so we are going to be cranking that heat. So I believe this thing's a twin turbo. 370. Now this thing, I believe I built this car back before I figured out like that there was pop and bang tunes in this game, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a pop and bang tune kind of guy. What? Okay. Alright, she got a little bit of jam to her, it looks like. Actually, this car doesn't have a pop and bang tune, so that's good. That may have been something that I fixed shortly after driving. Woo. Okay. She's telling me to talk to her nicely. I see. Sorry, I was not looking at the road. You know, I believe people when they say phones are a distraction. Tunnel pull here. Oh my goodness. That went way worse than expected. Okay, so this thing's a bit of a handful. Oh no, sorry bud. Tried to save her. Alright, let's go, baby. It's all wet up in the racing sim. You know what I'm saying? I think I just saw a accident right there. You know, with a lot of these cars, when you're switching, oh my gosh, okay. Not watching the road again, man. With a lot of these rear-wheel drive cars, the higher horsepower ones, especially when you're flip-flopping back and forth between a lot of cars, it really takes a good 5 or 10 minutes to get used to them, each car, especially with the wheel, man. This wheel makes things much more fun, for sure, but you gotta be a lot more
You have arrived at your destination.
a lot more careful. You gotta be ready to commit too, man. That was one thing that I noticed about the wheel. Any wheel in particular. I mean, I've never raced with a proper wheel, like, you know, oh, sorry, bud. Sorry, bud, that was my fault. With like some proper rotation. But yeah, you gotta be ready to spin that wheel around like you mean it, man. We're not sitting here with the controller, just fiddling our thumbs and stuff like that. Like, you gotta want it. And that's what I think a lot of people don't realize. They'll go out, who's this guy? Go out and buy a wheel for the PC, Xbox, PlayStation, whatever, and then actually start driving. I was in that position at one point when I was a lot younger. I didn't have a proper setup like I do now with a dedicated chair and table and TV that's just dedicated to the sim rig, you know what I mean? It was like a little TV dinner stand, or like the pedals on this actually have bolts that go through, you know, the wood that they're mounted to. I can adjust them based on who's driving it. They got different holes and stuff like that. You know, when your pedals are flopping around on the ground, you're trying to steer and like your whole table's like tipping over, like, for one, it's not an enjoyable experience, and for two, it just becomes like, I don't know, it becomes more of a burden, a hindrance to your game and stuff like that. Like what you're seeing right now, me driving, really just perfecting my skills with the wheel. Like I've never done it. I've done a couple of off-road races. I find off-road vehicles are easier to race with. I've done a couple of races with some off-road vehicles in the past with the wheel, but generally all the racing, all the progress that I've done. Am I hearing a dog barking right now? That was yeah, it's I don't know where I was going with that. Cheers. Something you gotta commit to. I think that's basically all I was trying to say. Alright, let's see what else we got up in here in the lineup. How long has this stream been going for? Good grief, 2.5 hours. that is a pretty decent amount of time, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so we got a few cars in the Nissan lineup. Really, we've driven every single Nissan here. The only one that I don't think we've driven is like the Titan and the off-road Fairlady. And I think this 2000 GTR 71. Well, I think what we're gonna do is jump back in the Skyline R34, because this is probably to me the dream Nissan. If there was ever a Nissan that I was gonna like dump endless amounts of money into, or spend endless amounts of money to acquire, really, because these things got to be over $100,000 now. And yeah, I think what we're gonna do, since we are getting a little tired, we have been going for quite some time. I think the move here is going to be to head to the final destination for the night. Lugar Tranquilo, right near the beach, is where we are going to lay our head
when it is safe to do so
tonight. And we are going to do so via the R34.
destination.
Boo earns. Rather close there. Brother, I don't know what happened there. We're starting to lose our daylight here. Could it be? I mean, I don't want to make excuses. Hated so cool. Where you going, bro? You're going the wrong way, man.
In 400 meters, turn sharp left. Turn sharp left. At the roundabout, take the first exit. At the roundabout, take the third exit. In 400 meters, turn sharp left. Turn sharp left.
What is this? That was a roundabout? What the hell's going on here?
In 400 meters, turn right. Turn right. In 200 meters, turn left. Turn left. In 200 meters, turn left. Turn left. You have arrived
Alright,
at your
you know what?
destination.
I'm having too much fun in this car, man. Let's keep it moving. Absolute carnage.
have arrived at your destination.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we have pulled up to the spot, and I'm thinking we are probably going to put an end to this one. We have been at it for quite some time. Let me check the... Dang. Almost 3 hours. You guys did enjoy this one. You guys are still out there. Don't forget to smash that like button. You guys want to see more videos like this in the future, don't forget to subscribe. We're gonna probably be back in a couple of days. Gonna hit a couple of cruises up pretty soon. So yeah, man, definitely subscribe. Stay tuned. Big shout outs to Aries Specs, B-Man. Appreciate you guys commenting, man. But with that being said, I am your boy D-Nolly, aka Don Squally. We're gonna put an end to this one for tonight. I'm gonna run inside, go crash, man. So I appreciate you guys watching. As always, we're gonna catch y'all mofos at the next one, man. Peace.